Reflecting on my service learning project in social work. The Service Learning Project is a hands-on way for social work students to get involved in the social work community and begin to learn what the job is all about. This is a very significant and relevant to social work education because it is one of the first opportunities students have to take part in the field and understand the difficulties and importance of this career. For my service learning project, I volunteered at the People's Pantry Food Bank run by the Fulfill organization, learning about the many different populations affected by poverty. Fulfill is a nonprofit organization that funds food banks by accepting donations and government rations. People's Pantry is one of these locations, providing clients with free groceries once every 7 days. By the end of this presentation, you will have a better understanding of poverty in social work and what populations it affects, as well as what these effects are and what resources these populations have for help. Social work is a huge part of these resources, and it is important for social workers working with these populations to be understanding and empathetic to the struggles that people face and the hardships they go through. Empathy is a very important trait of social work. A huge part of social work is helping those in need, and that cannot be done properly without being able to be empathetic to people's experiences. Many of the people social workers help are struggling with mental health, addiction, poverty, family issues, domestic abuse, medical issues, and more. All of these issues are very hard, so being able to understand the struggles these clients face and wanting to do everything one can to help them is crucial. The importance of empathy in social work is presented in Fulfill's mission statement. Fulfill's mission is to alleviate hunger and build food security in Monmouth and Ocean counties, and to make sure that all people at all times have access to enough nutritious food to maintain an active and healthy life. When volunteering at People's Pantry, I assisted the clients in shopping and stocking and organized the food in shelves, fridges, and freezers when there were no clients. There are many forms of intersectionality in social work. Intersectionality is significant in social work because the career is centered around working with all different sorts of people who come from different backgrounds and have different issues. In social work, it is common to be working with many different marginalized communities and minorities, such as races, ethnicities, genders, sexual orientations, religions, disabilities, and more. This leads people to have intersecting privileges and social issues. Because of this, no two clients or situations are the same. During my time volunteering at Fulfill's People's Pantry, I encountered a wide range of populations when working with clients. These populations were families and individuals in poverty, single struggling parents, Hispanic families and immigrant families, people with disabilities, and elderly people. An article about hardships and wealth disparities across Hispanic groups says that over 14% of all Hispanic people in the U.S. have struggled affording food, as well as facing discrimination due to language barriers, leading to limited job opportunities. An article about the economic crisis facing people with disabilities in the U.S. says that disabled people are twice as likely to live in poverty. An article about the importance about improving mental health access for low-income children and families says that families and children living in low-income homes have an increased risk for mental health problems and has been linked to poor health. The Human Rights Watch says that more than half of food-insecure households include children. Social workers have a very important role as advocates for social justice. Social workers are the people who work with these marginalized and minority communities, and it is their job to help them. Social workers see firsthand the struggles that communities face, and therefore have a unique perspective of what needs to be done to help these communities. Social workers can use the information they experience from their clients' point of view to advocate for the change necessary to ensure all communities are living with human rights. During my time volunteering at Fulfill's Pantry, I assisted clients in shopping, guiding them through the food bank and letting them know how much food they were allowed from each aisle or of each type of food. This depended on how many people they were feeding. Many times I would have to advocate on behalf of certain clients that they should be allowed more of a certain type of food if they have lots of children or family to feed, and often when there was a language barrier due to certain clients speaking little to no English. Resilience and self-care is very important in the social work field. In the social work field, it is common to be working with clients in tough situations, and it can be challenging to witness the ways these situations affect clients and their families. Social work has one of the highest burnout rates, meaning it is a very trying and mentally draining career. This can be harmful to one's mental health, which is why self-care is important in social work practice. It is important to stay resilient when helping a client, but also to take breaks and not take work home. Some challenges I faced were language barriers, knowing how to help people with disabilities, and knowing how to help individuals or families with many children with them, and having a hard time saying no to people asking for extra food because I wanted to help them. I overcame these issues by communicating and remaining patient, assisting in-need clients with loading and carrying their bags, and being understanding and lenient with clients who needed extra food. The challenges I faced during my service learning project helped me to further develop my empathy skills, as well as taught me about the effects poverty has on different populations. I learned how to interact with clients and how to help them, which was a first step into my professional career. I learned how to empathize with the people of these populations without coming across as pitying. I now have a much deeper understanding of the struggles people in poverty face every day, especially the minority and disadvantaged populations. I have always believed that the only way to grow is to do, and by participating in this service learning project, I have grown not only personally but professionally in ways that will help me to succeed at a career in social work practice. During my service learning project, I learned the importance of resources such as Fulfill and People's Pantry. I learned the populations that are affected by poverty and what struggles they face because of this. I learned how communities can give back and help these populations and what a social worker's role in that is. The most important roles a social worker has are empathy and advocacy and creating the best possible outcome for their clients. Intersectionality in social work practices causes for many different scenarios and clientele, which is why empathy is so important. Social workers need to be able to understand the communities that they are working with so that they can commit to helping them in the best way possible. Advocacy and social justice are also important because of this, because a social worker's role is to fight for equality and quality of life for all their clients. After my reflection on this project, I know that I will have a great role as a social worker and am even more committed to understanding disadvantaged communities and doing what I can to protect and fight for their human rights. I have learned many important lessons from this service learning project and will now be able to use them all in the future of my career. These lessons will inform my future social work practice by using empathy and understanding to advocate for social justice for my clients and populations of service. I hope to work with adolescents who are struggling with their home life, mental health, or addiction. Because of my experience from this project at Fulfill, I have a deep understanding of what struggling families go through, as well as the causes of mental health issues and addiction issues in families, and how it affects the people and children of the household. I will be able to successfully empathize with my clients and put together a plan and resources to get them the help they need. Thank you for listening to my presentation. If you have any questions or comments, this is my student email. I hope you enjoyed and hopefully learned something about the populations of poverty in social work practice.